Yeah, so today let's discuss about how to configure mobile device setup in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations Warehouse Management. So before performing any of the warehouse management processes with the mobile device, you must configure it for Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. So in order to configure the mobile device with your supply chain management, you need 5 basic setups which must be configured before using uh, the mobile device. So the first one is the work classes. Used to define these work classes basically used to define the types of the work orders that a mobile device can process. The types of work orders include the production order, the purchase order, the sales order, the transfer order, etc. And then there comes the device menus. These used to outline which operations are available and the navigation for those options on each device. Like on D365 you see here are some of the menus, and then there will be the device layout that allows you to define information such as font, color, map, keyboard shortcuts, and determine the date format to display on the device. And then to access that the mobile app, you need to have the device users, which allows how the access of what operations a user can perform using their login. It defines the people or the workers that access the mobile devices and what level of access is required or is granted to a user. Then there comes the print management settings that allows you to control the layout, printer, and the template to be used for printing the labels. So now let's discuss each of them in a bit detail. Let's go to the work classes. You can find them in warehouse management. Under the setup, you will find the mobile device menu, mobile devices, yeah, here. The work and then the work classes. So here you see that there are multiple classes which have been configured, which are related to batch order put away. Means it will be used for the production and batch orders. Then there is a work class for cycle count, so that will be used for configuring the cycle counts. Then there is a container load job, then there is a container pick job, then there is a finished goods put away, then there's a GIT receive and put away. So since I'm using the demo environment, so these multiple jobs have been already configured here. So for everything which is related to purchase or the purchase orders, you will be using the purchase class. In here, like based on the configurations which need to be based on the requirements, you can it is as flexible, like you can validate the locations using this purchase menu work class. So say if I'm using this purchase class for particular locations, for location A and B, then I can configure it accordingly. I can validate it to allowed to be used with the only allowed locations, like it is only available for the bay door or the bulk or the floor rack, etc. So normally these are remain as the generic. We keep them generic unless until we need locations to be validated for any work clause. Work classes are basically used to specify the work orders that the mobile device can process if the menu item will process the existing work. So when you will be using the existing work, we will be discussing this later in the demo. What is the existing work and how we will be using that. So while using the existing work, system requires these work classes to be there. So here you see that for every work, based on every work order type, there are multiple work classes which are created and which can be configured as per the requirement of the user. So for creating a work class, what we need is just click a new and say I am creating trans T01, and that's transfer order 1, and here I have the related work order type which I will be associating with this. So here I will be associating it with the transfer issue, and then there I can create a TO2, transfer order 2, which means transfer order 2, and then I will be associating this with the transfer receipt. So these two have been associated with the related work order type, and now can be I can use them for the existing works. Okay, now let's discuss how these will be used. For example, a work order could include only the purchase orders, transfers and receipts, replenishment, or the return order. The menu will only process work for specified type of the work order. While creating the menus, we will be specifying these work profiles on those menus. So say I am creating a menu for transfer order, so I have to specify the two classes which needs to be done through that menu. So if if I haven't specified any of the work class, then system will show all the open work which is available through that menu. So next now let's discuss about the device menus. Let's go to the mobile, the warehouse setup, and then there is the mobile device, and then there is mobile device menu. The menu contains the menu items that warehouse workers will use to perform their work. You can create the structure of the mobile device menu by adding menus, menu items, and the menus. Where you add a menu, its items are also assigned. So here, let's see, initially we are actually what we are doing here, we are actually configuring our mobile device functionality, what functionality our mobile device will be offering with respect to picking or putting our warehouse work. So we can group this as per our requirements. So here on the default out of the box environment with demo data, we have our main menu available, then we have inbound available, then we have outbound available, then we have inventory, then we have production, and then the quality management. So you can consider it as the workspace. We can set securities based on these menus. So say for the inbound, the menu will be structured. So let's create one more. Inbound, BOUND, inbound 1. And here I'll be specifying the description inbound 1. So for the time being, this has been created. So I have the menu structure which is available to me, which is inbound 1. So now either I will be using this one or the default which has been created. So now here you see that inbound contains the purchase receive, purchase put away, transfer receive, transfer receive license plate, then the return management, then return management put away, return order put away, driver check-in, GIT, and so on. So all the related functions can be can be grouped under the inbound, and then there will be a structured a separate menu for the outbound, where all the related work which are related to the outbound operations will be can be added, and that menu can contain as the container for those all functionalities. So we have created inbound one, and now we need to add menu items for this menu. Now let's go to the menu items field, mobile device menu items, and here this is the actual area where the functionalities, the controls will work. So let's see here, I'm creating all work, open work. So this is a sort of inquiry, and its mode is based on this. The system will know how it will be performed. So if it something which needs to which creates some work, then you will be selecting mode as work. Otherwise, if it is a sort of inquiry or some listing or some other functionality like log off and log in, then it will be an indirect support function. And once that is indirect, then here the activity code will define what this will be doing. So here say there's like activity code is none. If you want to create a log off, then it will be offering a log off button. You can specify about, you can specify through this, you can specify how to change the warehouse, you can specify that functionality within your warehouse app by creating this menu. And then there is a location inquiry, then there is a license split inquiry, then there is a start production order. If you want to start production order through the app, you can create this device menu item, and then you can add this to the related batch order menu, and from there the user who have authority to start the purchase order will be can start that purchase production order through this. So here we have the item inquiry, driver check, and display open work list. So for all open work list, I will be selecting this to display my open work list. Now here the work classes which we have defined earlier will be used here. So if I don't select any work class here, system will display all the open work which is available within all overall the system. But still we need to do the open work for say purchase order, then I will be specifying here my work class as the purchase. Now this purchase work class will be used by the system as a filter to filter the work for this menu item. And see if I wanna use this all open PO for transfer receiving as well. So what I will be doing here, I'll be adding that transfer class to this work item. So I'll be using TO receipt, and again I'll be using the return orders receipt as well. So for return order we have the return order, so it has two functions, in and out. So return orders will be coming back to our warehouses, so I will be using this all open work list to show the return orders and the transfer receipts and the purchase orders. So let me save this for now. So this is how you have you can create as many menu items as you want to. So let's discuss one direct menu, which is say pick SO. It's related to SO pick sales order, and my mode will be work, because picking is something which needs to do some work. So here I will be using my existing work, and then um, it will be directed, either it will be directed by system, or it will be directed by user, or the user grouping, or the system grouping. We will be discussing all these in some demo. Then let's see, it is a user directed. Then I have to check the pick and pack function on. Then again I will be if I want to display my inventory status while the user will be picking items for the sales order, then I will be switching this on. Use process guide. It means that the process guide framework will be wherever it is available, you can use that. Then if you want to generate the license plates as well while picking the sales order, so you need to click on this and set this to yes. Then system will be generating license plates while picking the items for the sales order. And next, encoding, it means that if the user can change the location while picking. So say if the user has been directed to pick from warehouse 1 in location A, but user has gone while picking from that location, user found that the items are not available on the specific location. Then you can like by activating this functionality, you can allow user to change the location, and then he can move to the location B, and while picking from the B location, he can specify that I am picking from this specific location. Next is override target plates. If you want to override the target plates, you can do so by allowing this override license plate during the putting. So you can this work order is related to this menu item is related to the sales order pick. If you want to override the license plates during the put process, then you can specify that here. So here the allow split of work, it means that you are allowing your users to split the work into 2 or 3 or 4 pieces. Say the user has why we use this is when the user has been directed to pick say 100 items from warehouse 1 location A, and picking those 100 items may took some time. So say if the user has to have some break within that, then we will be allowing them to have breaks, and they can simply split the work, and they can complete say 10 quantities at the moment, and then they can come back and further pick other 20 or 30 or 50 quantities, and so on. So splitting of work can work in this way as well. So it has multiple other functionalities. So based on the requirement, if you want to allow your users to split their work, so by allowing this option, you will be like you can the menu item can allow the user while performing the picking work, they can simply split the work. The next is the keep work logged by user. It means that when a work has been assigned to a user through the sales order release process, then if you want to log that work with that user, because to avoid any misunderstanding, then you can use this function. Then what system will be doing once it is assigned to any user, so that work will be logged to only that user. Okay, next is the option is to display the summary of the pick screen. When the user has picked all the items, then by allowing this or toggling this to yes, you are allowing the app to display what he has picked. Then next is a check, count total item quantity first. So once the user has picked and that has been performed, so then he needs to confirm the quantities which he has picked. So this will create a separate, after completing the pick work, user will be presented with another screen where he will be specifying how much items he has picked. So if he used to pick that 100 items, then he will need to confirm the quantity in the next screen if I toggle this to yes. Next is, since I am working with the sales order picking menu item, so then I can disable the count thresholds. I can disable the put away, group put away, and then here it is related to the picking work. So if you want your users to pick based on some criteria, then you can use this field, and you can here say that my picking will be, if I need to pick the oldest batch first, so first expiry first out, so then I will be setting the options for the user to validate that requirement, because he needs to pick the items which are expiring first. Then here I have the error message which will be thrown to the user while picking. If he is not picking the first expired batches, then he will be even warned, or you can force them to pick the specific batch which is available on that specific location. So next is the audit template and handled by license plate. So if you want to audit this menu item, then the audit template can be configured here and attached to this menu item, and then the audit activities can be initiated by as per the template configured and attached to that. Handled by license plate, if it is selected, the worker can scan the license plate and then move the entire license plate instead of scanning each individual item. So now if say a license plate contains 10 items on it, and the user needs to move the license plate completely, then instead of going for each of the item and scanning each of the item, he can simply scan the license plate number and move the complete LP from one location to the other, or can pick or put the complete LP if you allow this option. So this is basically usable when there are pallets and user have to move complete pallet at once. So and pallet do have its pallet license plates assigned to them. Then you can simply go on while creating the device menu item. You will be simply toggling this to yes, and then the menu will have two options. And then system will allow you to pick the whole license plate or the whole pallet at once. Allow overpick means that if you are allowing users to overpick, say the sales order suggested work for 10 quantities, but there are 11 quantities available and he is picking more quantities, then this option will allow them to pick. Next and most important thing is the work classes. So I am creating the pick work for the sales order. Then what I will be doing, I will be assigning this to my work class, which is sales SOP. So that's it for today. Today we have discussed a little bit about the work classes, and then we have discussed about the work device menu, mobile device menus, and then we have discussed a little bit detail about the how to create the menu item. So here are the options to create the menu item. So if I don't want to use the existing work, but system will allow me to do these much of functions without using the existing work. So it allows me to movement, it allows me to adjustment in, adjustment out, inventory changes, lesson split receiving. All those functionalities don't use the existing work, then all those functionalities can be performed. So it is a rich functionality we can configure as per our requirements.